Hello, LEC community. I'm Lexi Rios. I'm the marketing manager for the Latinx Education Collaborative. I'm here with Maria Phillips. She has been nominated for the Latinx Educator of the Year. Hi, Maria. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk to you today and learn a bit about you. So just starting out, can you tell us about yourself, who you are, what you got going on right now?
Absolutely. My name is Maria Phillips, and I am from Costa Rica. I've been working here in North Carolina, in the state of North Carolina, for the last this is my 5th year working here. I'm a third grade dual language immersion teacher, so my classes are only in Spanish all the time. We are in a 90-10 immersion program, so most of my students receive all their classes in Spanish. Um, I came to North Carolina to teach because I was looking for more opportunities. And once I got here, I fell in love with teaching American students how to speak Spanish and teaching them about my culture, and also giving that representation for the Hispanic students in my classroom too. And also, I fell in love with global education while I was here. So, yeah.
Yay, that's awesome. Well, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you for telling us a little bit about your journey. How do you feel right now about your nomination?
Oh, I feel very surprised. I was not expecting it at all. It was a surprise when I got the email, and I feel honored, and I feel so excited to know that the impact that we as teachers, as Latinx teachers here in the States, is being recognized too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a very well-deserved nomination for sure. You know, I heard you talk a little bit about representation already, but why do you think representation matters?
I think in a classroom, especially in elementary schools for students that come from different countries here to States, coming into their schools and their classrooms and seeing teachers that look like them or speak the same language as they do, it helps them feel that they have a place in the school too, like a sense of belonging. And I also think that it impacts academic achievement so much just by learning about new things around the world, different cultures, and also in my case, because I teach Spanish immersion, learning a different language and then having to translate all that knowledge that they have to English and use it in their daily lives. That's something that I think it's very important too.
Yes, absolutely. And then for you to already have that background and like that is you, that is your culture, I think is really important too, to that you're like authentically teaching about
Yeah.
yourself. And I love that.
Yeah, and the students really feel connected once you teach them about your culture, and it helps build relationships with the teacher and the class.
Mm,
And I also think that it opens up their minds, to know that there's more out there than just the things that they have here in the States. And some of them, well, I'm from Costa Rica, and some of them, they don't even know where Costa Rica is, or they think it's an island, or they had no idea that there was something between North America and South America. So just thinking about how much that helps them open their minds and gain knowledge about the world that they live in, it's immediately rewarding.
yeah, absolutely. I can only imagine being able to And I imagine, like, if they weren't in your class or they were anywhere else with a different teacher, like, maybe they wouldn't get that exposure to that
Mhm.
part of life and
Yes, and in my school, some classes are dual language and other classes are just regular ed classes. And I do get a lot of students from other classes that come and say, "Can I come to your classroom? I want to
mm.
learn about the monkeys too, or I want to learn about the volcanoes in Costa Rica too." And I'm like, "Well, not right now, but maybe we can manage a way that we can learn about all the things." But yeah, they come, and when there's new students at the school that come from Latinx households, they immediately seek out the teacher that speaks Spanish because it reminds them of home. It makes them feel comfortable. So I think all of that is amazing. And it's so rewarding to see that we are really making an impact in these students' lives.
Yes, absolutely. That's so important. Um, I'm hearing you talk a little bit about these conditions, but my next question to you is how can we build the right conditions for the advancement of Latinx youth? What do you
Mhm.
think?
Well, I think that first and the most important thing is to have that representation in the school, even if it's not their homeroom teacher, but just seeing adults that they can look up to that did things the way that they were supposed to and are role models for them. Um, Also, I think it's very important to talk about inclusion and accessibility and how we as teachers can help our students be in the best like in the best mind space to be able to learn. So sometimes if a student feels like they don't belong there, then they're not going to do their best, or they're going to be shy about, if it's a Latinx student, about speaking in English because they don't know the language as well, or things like that. So I think that's also something that it's going to help out a lot. The other thing, and this is what I told you about, that when I came to North Carolina, I fell in love with global education. It's something that has really impacted my heart, and I think that it's important to prepare them to be global citizens and not only do the things for what the immediate impact they have, but thinking about the future and that their actions have consequences, and these consequences can be positive too. So if we empower our students to be global citizens by having all of these things, their representation in the classroom, then all of these Latinx students are going to go out there and put something good into the world. And I always tell them, if you do just a little bit and you put something good into the world, then that's gonna create a effect, and it's gonna keep going and going and going, and all these amazing things are happening. And another thing that I think is really important is to have a welcoming environment.
Mhm.
And I do feel like the Latinx community, well, you must know how we are, and we are caring, and we are loud, and we have fun, and we do all these things. And I believe that students need that to feel like they're at home, they're safe, they're in a safe environment. So I think that's very important too. And also the understanding of different cultures and just having the ability to learn about someone or something without judging it first.
Mm, yes, absolutely. Wow, so many great things in there. So you said inclusivity,
Inclusivity,
inclusiveness,
yeah.
inclusiveness, representation, understanding culture, like all of those things, right? Yeah, I agree. That's awesome. That's awesome that, they could get that all in one class too, right? Like, from one teacher. That's amazing. So this is my last question to you. But what keeps you going?
So that's an easy and a not so easy question. As I am sure you know, uh, education is not easy. Being a teacher is not an easy job. And at the beginning when I first came here, I was looking, for new opportunities and to learn something new here. And I work in a very small school in a tiny town in North Carolina. And I realized the impact that I was having in my students and how I was showing them about the world. And some of them have no idea what's out there. And to see them excited because I opened Google Maps and we're going to travel to Costa Rica on Google Maps or things like that. I think that's what keeps me going, especially feeling that appreciation from the students,
Thank you.
and because if let's be honest, if we're working in education, it's because we love it and we appreciate our students and what they give to us too, and how much we learn from them. Because if not, it's just gonna be, you're not gonna be happy, and you have to be happy. Kids like people that are happy and are there for them, and I think that's what keeps me going, to see the little smiles in all of my students' face every day, and feeling all the love that they give me and the appreciation that they have.
I love that. I love that. Is there anything else you would like to share with us today?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, I just feel very honored to be given the opportunity to be here and to be nominated. So I just appreciate it, and I appreciate all the work that Latinx Education does for our community here in the States.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for telling us more about yourself. LEC Community, Maria Phillips, North Carolina, Latinx Educator of the Year nominee. It was so nice talking to you today, Maria. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Okay, see you.
Bye.
It was like us in different ways. We're sitting there like in the arena in Las Vegas, like,
When I started this LEC community,